Hello everybody. Welcome back. We are going to be doing something a little bit, we're going to be just doing usual stuff on Tarkov, except with a bit of a twist. So today, oh, where's my camera? Hello. Today we're going to be looking at Nvidia Smooth Motion. I want to have a look at this. I want to do a video about this, regardless of whether it's good or not. So the long and the short of it is, in the latest patch notes for Nvidia app / the drivers, they added, I wonder if I've even got the, let me see if I've got it, Nvidia app patch notes. They basically added a line, which was quite cool. Where is it? Was it the drivers or was it this? Where is it? Where are we? I'm just trying to find it so I describe it properly. Popped up in here, but maybe I can find it in the video app itself. Let me see. Learn more. Where was the latest? Let me see if I can find what they said. I can't actually find what they said about it. Anyway, whatever. I'll have to explain it myself then. So, within the Nvidia app, I'm just going to try and change this before. I've been messing around with my oh, hold on a second. What have I done here? Let me just ignore that for a minute so I can actually explain myself. So, within the Nvidia drivers, there is a way of using frame gen. Hey, look at this person got banned. There's a way of using frame gen for games that don't support frame gen. This was only available for 50 series and above. But in the latest drivers, they've pulled it back also to the 40 series. You don't get multi-frame gen. So let's get out Paint. We'll start with MS Paint. Good way to begin the session. So normally your GPU makes frames, right? And these get sent to the monitor, and then refreshes the screen. What frame gen does is it generates one frame, and then another frame, and then what it does is it inputs these two into like the transformer model, Nvidia AI black box stuff. It computes a new frame. It then inserts it here in the middle. I guess we should probably do something else. We should probably make it green. So it makes this new frame. That's not a very good line, is it? It inserts it here, and it then subsequently shows you this frame and then this frame. And then it does that for all frames. So it inserts a frame in between every other frame, which is like an AI interpolation of the frame before and the frame afterwards. The problem, people call these fake frames, because they aren't real, right? The idea behind it is that, if you have a frame that's like this, a frame like this, a frame like this, a frame like this, a frame like this, it'll make a fake frame that's kind of there, kind of here, kind of here, kind of here, with the intention to smooth the playing experience. Obviously, I'm demonstrating this on a 2D chart, whereas it's way more complicated than this. But one of the big issues in general with this stuff is, unlike DLSS, because all DLSS does is it's rendering the base game in a small. This is why you don't really get any perceptible input. I don't think there's any input lag for DLSS, because you render the game in a small mode and you use AI to just upscale it, and then you just post that frame straight up. So it's just, there's no, like, you're not waiting for anything. Smooth motion is frame gen. So the problem with frame gen is this frame would normally have gone to your monitor, but they hold that frame back. This frame would then also have gone to your monitor, but that frame is also held back. This process then happens, and this frame is then created, right? And then it shows you this frame, and this frame in order. So this is the problem. You have to wait for the frame you would normally get, plus a frame that you would normally get afterwards, plus the process of it doing the insertion before it gets to play it to you. This is why frame gen is typically not recommended for high speed FPSs and anything that's competitive. For this reason. Because this adds latency. And big bad latency as well. I'm not even talking like a bit of latency. Talking, it depends, but it can be quite a lot of latency. One of the worst problems with the whole of this situation is that when you don't really need frame gen, it works quite well. So imagine that the frames that you've got going on at the moment, you're running it at, 120 FPS. Well, frame gen, we'll just make it 2 times, even though that's not strictly true for the time being. But say it's 2 times and it takes you to 240, just for argument's sake. The time gap between these frames is so small at 120 FPS. And importantly as well, imagine if you're like spinning your character. The higher the frame rate, the smaller the difference is between one frame and the next frame. So if you turn with the same angle in 30 FPS as you do in 120 FPS, the frames actually are much closer together in terms of image at 120. So not only does the AI have to do more work to interpolate the frames, because there's more information lost between each frame, but also because the frames are already, at 30 FPS, the frames are coming much further apart. So you now have to hold this frame, make a new frame, hold this frame, hold this frame, make a new frame, and then play them in sequence. This latency is much bigger than this latency. So it's like smooth motion and fake frames in general, any kind of frame generation is sort of fundamentally cursed, because the people who want to use it the most will suffer the most from its disadvantages. Now, one of the reasons why I wanted to come on and have a go with this today is I've not been able to make it work very well. I am struggling to tell whether it's even on. What is this coloring with Giga? Yeah, well, I was trying to explain about smooth motion. So there's different levels of frame gen as well. You've got something like frame gen like it's in Grey Zone Warfare, for example. So smooth motion as frame gen in Grey Zone Warfare is like inbuilt into the game. So what that means is that you can tell the game what parts of the game are like parts of the HUD. You can tell the frame generation tool. You can send different bits to the driver to get frame gen stuff done, right? So you have more information about motion vectors, so the game knows the direction that it's traveling in. So imagine if you're trying to do, you're the AI, right, in the middle, and you're trying to make an interpolation between 2 different frames. If you're just given those pictures, you're going to try and make your best guess. But if it's implemented within the game, certain elements, because you have access not just to the final frame, but you have access to like how that frame was actually built up from the ground up, if it's implemented within the game, that allows you to feed much more detailed information to the AI system that's doing the recomposition, and you could basically just feed it the raw game pictures and leave the HUD alone, leave the HUD out of it, or even just like send them separately. So you could send like the HUD element separately. I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of how it works technically, but you can split out things like that. And also, like someone mentioned in chat, about motion vectors, so that the AI knows broadly which direction it's expecting these things to be moving in. Right, that's built within the game. So what I've done so far, so within graphics, so they've added within the Nvidia app, the new version allows it if you've got a 40 series or a 50 series GPU. I mean, basically 50 series you could do it anyway, I think, previously, but now they've added it for 40 series, which is what I was waiting, because I don't like using Profile Inspector or anything like this. I like using the in-game, the proper one in the Nvidia app. So if you go right down to the bottom, there's a new setting here, smooth motion, which is this one here. So uses AI to deliver a smoother gameplay by inferring an additional frame between 2 rendered frames, turning on smooth motion for games that don't support, well, it says don't support DLSS, but don't support like frame generation. If frame generation is in the game, you should use the frame generation that's in the game because it has more information. But a game like Tarkov that doesn't have frame generation, you could potentially use it for this. Now, I don't think this is going to be good for most people, and I'm still slightly unsure as to whether it's actually working or not. You can see that it's on. Now, this is going to be slightly odd because I'm running in 165 FPS on my monitor. It says up here that it's only running at this frame rate. I don't know why this is saying... Oh, it's probably because it's capped because it's in the... because we're in here. But you can see... I don't know whether it's showing you. I'm not sure if it's picking up the broadcast. It only picked up in certain situations, but you can see the fake frames sometimes. And, like, especially the menu, like, it doesn't know it's a menu. So it's like wibbly-wobblying the lines all over the place. Hey, so I play Tarkov with Ryzen 5, 5600G, 16 gig of RAM, and no GPU. Am I a true enjoyer? You are indeed. You are indeed a true enjoyer. Yeah, never use frame gen, or I'll never use frame gen. I can't tolerate the input delay that it adds. That is fair. That is totally fair. So if you play at like 100 FPS already, getting 200 FPS probably won't give you much input delay. Yeah, I mean, it's really bad in the menu. Because, again, because this is at the driver level and not at the game level, this is a bit, so we'll describe a little bit further about what's going on, just so it's clear to everybody what's actually happening here. We'll make this in a slightly different color, separate this out. So, you know, you've got like basically, I mean, I'm no expert, but you've got different stages of where this stuff is getting rendered, right? So you've got the game getting rendered actually inside, you know, on its sort of code base kind of deal. Like when it's actually getting like when the frames are being assembled by the video game. If that has smooth motion inside it, you can basically tell it like this is a HUD element. You know, the frame is broadly moving to the right because that's the motion vectors that we've got, etc., etc. And so then when you output an actual real frame, this is just a picture on the screen. Smooth motion has a lot more of this information from behind the scenes. Where we're using it is at this stage. So the driver level doesn't know anything about the game. So really, it just sees the final frame and is using that as the... And this is also how... What's the other one called? Lossless scaling. So lossless scaling works in the same way, kind of. Well, I'm saying it one right way now. That's the app on Steam that you can use, which is pretty good, honestly, for what it does. So this is sort of similar to lossless scaling, except this is Nvidia's own proprietary solution or version of this. So it should technically be slightly better because I guess it has like a deeper ability to interact with the driver, I suppose. I would think, but even still, you're still just seeing the final picture, right? You're just seeing the final. It's just seeing the final frame. It doesn't know anything about Escape from Tarkov, really. And so it's just saying, oh, I've got one picture that looks like this, one picture that looks like this. What's something in between that looks about right? And it's sort of going, well, I'm going to make these lines squiggly and everything's going to shut all over the place. So you can see it's on, right? As I move between screens, you can see it like shit the bed, basically, because like this screen looks very different to this screen. So it doesn't know what to do. It doesn't actually know how to fix this. Yeah, I've got this on, I've got it on the middle set, so I'm still using DLSS, which maybe complicates things. So what I was doing before, I was fiddling around with my actual monitor to see if because one of the big problems, I can't actually see, I can't see the actual frame rate that it's being done at, which is a bit strange. Let me show you an example. Let's just do Streets offline for a second. I can show you an example. For some reason, this actually feels worse. The input delay feels worse now than it did when I was testing it, weirdly. But let's just try it to see what happens. Might be ways to reduce latency by... Oh, why do you dislike Profile Inspector? Oh, because you have to faff about and restart this app and close this, and then it might break, and then I like it to be in the app. Also, most regular users are not going to use Nvidia Profile Inspector either. So there might be ways to reduce latency by frame limiting. Yeah, well, I need to test this stuff. I haven't tested it enough, and I'm not an expert really. I'm not a hardware expert. So it'll be interesting to see what you guys have to say about this. I'll be fascinated to see what you guys have to say. You can have legit frames but still get owned by someone sitting in a corner. I mean, that's just true. So it's not worth using on a 3060. You can't use it on a 3060. You have to use lossless scaling. That's the best thing that you can do is do lossless scaling. Yo, Simon, what's going on? Uncap FPS. I don't think you can uncap FPS in the menu, can you? I think the lobby FPS limit is fixed, no? I wish AMD FSR3 was updated. Alt R. Oh, it's loading in. I maybe shouldn't have pressed that. Frame gymnast, the frame has little motion, delta persistence. It'd be better than Lighthouse tanking 200 to 90. Well, this is the thing. Oh, maybe I've broken it. I literally pressed the button as it was like starting the game. So I might actually have crashed EFT. Oh no. See, the problem I have is that it's exactly the same as this. It definitely feels different, but it's not show. It doesn't show me the actual. I don't know why it doesn't show me the actual FPS. Frame pacing is important. For 144 Hz, you have to set it to 72 FPS in game. Okay, well, we'll try that. We'll try that. Is that the case for G-Sync monitors though, as well? Hey, I don't know what Gunsmith task for you guys. Hey, no worries, no worries. I'm doing the ones for the hardcore. I've got like a couple of them lined up, but I haven't edited them all yet. Still can't adjust the percentage of DLSS upscaling in the main app. You can. They've just changed it. They've just changed it, literally just now. So if you go in here, you can now change DLSS super resolution mode. You can change this to custom, and you can set it yourself. I know. It's literally changed as of this patch. It's the one that's added smooth motion. It's the same. It's the same patch. So you can now put a custom res in. So yesterday I was testing DLAA, by the way. So DLAA doesn't work in EFT. It still doesn't work for whatever reason. So you do have to set it to custom and set this to 99. I tested it, Chef. I wanted to make sure that it was still not working, because like it had updated in the app. So I thought, well, maybe it's changed. It hasn't changed. So you do have to set it to custom 99. But this means that you're not just stuck on quality at 67. So you could set like custom to, because I quite like quality, but 67 is still quite low. So you could set it to 80, for example. Or whatever it is that you like. You can set it to 99. Now, I actually see quite significant performance loss when I start setting these things up to like 99. But that's probably also because I'm running this stuff with DLDSR as well, which probably doesn't help. Because I got these like, you know, that's native for me, and then this is the next one up. To be honest, I still need to do a few more tests, but anyway. So this is Streets right now. It says 44, but it isn't. It definitely isn't 44. The only issue is I can certainly feel the latency here. I can certainly feel it at the moment. This is offline. But the thing is that you can actually use a scope, you know? Maybe this is because, I think it's because, yeah, maybe it's because, so my base FPS is now, so this is what I was saying before, you know, this doubling isn't strictly true. So going from, if you're at 120, you're not going to end up at 240. You'll end up at something else. Now on Streets, often I'm at like 55. Actually, I'm usually a bit higher than that. But this isn't going to take you to 110, unfortunately. This is probably going to take you to somewhere a lot less than that. I think this is taking me to 2 times whatever the number is there. So you see my base FPS is normally 60-ish. Actually, it depends. But outside, it's usually about 60, 55 to 60. But my base FPS is now 45. So it's actually lower. I've actually got less frames. But I'm running at like 90 FPS now. In reality, that's how it feels. Because this is not running at 40 FPS. You'd be able to see it otherwise. My own video overlay shows me the double version. Yeah, mine doesn't. And I was trying to figure this out last night. I don't understand why it doesn't. Does this game still run shit on any PC? No. Streets of Tarkov is by far the worst. Can you see the shimmering though? Can you see the shimmering in the image? Like, especially when the tree comes out of the side. Like, that's when it's the worst. Like this is the thing. I'm not going to use this personally. Just for avoidance of doubt. I'm not like, you know, hailing this as like the second coming of, you know, Nvidia or whatever, because I just don't think it's I don't think it's worth using. But if you really can't run Streets, or it's like super bad, can you do FPS 3? Let's see. It's feeling really bad at the moment. Where does it show you the frame time? Hey, it's nostalgia. Love watching Tarkov, though I'm terrible at the game. I've been using smooth motion, had some input delay I got used to. There's a bit of ghosting, at least it makes my game smooth since I'm on a laptop. Let me try, actually, let me just try going back to native res for a minute. Usually doesn't make any difference on the streets. Also, I'm running offline local streets with bosses. So that's actually going to be worse. We'll try a scav run in a minute just to see what it's like in real online. My game goes insanely glittery at the start of every raid. I do a quick alt tab and it goes away. Oh. Oh, the frame, 25 milliseconds? Is that what there? Frame MS? I think it should show you in here too. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it feels horrible. Yeah, I don't know why this doesn't show me the real thing. Does this tell you anything? Latency? No. So this is render latency 20, average PC latency 75. What does that mean? Anyone knows what that means? What does this 75 mean? Anyone got any idea? You can save yourself the hassle with frame gen in Tarkov. I tried everything, capping the frame rates. Doesn't see the ones to refresh, resync, billion others. Get down the site and move this goat fast. Yeah, I mean it's not. I mean, it's not. The stability is not too bad. Honestly, the stability of the picture is not too bad when I'm scoped like this. I mean, this doesn't feel like 30 FPS. So this feels way better than 30 FPS. So if you really are struggling, right, and you're playing PvE, then maybe it's okay. PC rate latency is a measurement for reflex. That is your whole render queue. I mean, 75 milliseconds is like insane, though, no? $30 millisecond frame time when aiming. Bizarrely, it doesn't feel that bad. It doesn't feel like 30. Actually, maybe it is. I mean, we can try. Let's try doing what we were saying here. So let's try. I mean, to be fair, the frame rate's probably too low for the capping to even matter. I love this. It's really funny. Anyway, well, yeah, you can't cap this with reflex on here. You have to cap it elsewhere. I'm not sure if I could do that live. Let's someone run from left to right. We'll have to go and find like an AI or something. I had a lot of issues with overlays and recording in general. What do you mean? PvE frames are different somehow. Whereas I get 100 to 110. PvP, I get 80 on PvE. It's because PvE is running locally, right? So it feels a lot like... PvE feels like running offline raids. Like we just did, right? Offline raid. Because you're simulating all the AI yourself. 7 milliseconds is 140 FPS. 60. Yeah, 16 milliseconds is 60 FPS. Oh, is this is literally just saying like 1 over... Oh, this is just saying like 1 over the frame, the number of frames. Is that all frames? Is that all the frame MS is saying? Or is that actually the frame time? Why not turn volumetric lighting off? Because the game looks quite bad without it. You can probably cap using the video app. I'm not sure if I can live, because none of these settings you can change live, which is really annoying. Flickering on overlays and double latency on recording. Well, I don't have those issues because I'm recording on a stream PC, so. Play 6 milliseconds of most maps. Streets to play at around 6:15 if it's a really bad spot. What are we testing? So we're testing smooth motion right now. So there's the actual worst place in the timer. I've got scavs on somewhere. I don't see any of them, but I tried capping my frame via Nvidia app, but it effed up smooth motion. Yeah, locally hosted game runs the AI logic, causing more work for the CPU. Exactly. Exactly. Never tried it personally. Well, that was the point. I wanted to give it a go and see if, like, is there a use case for it? Is there a use case for people who are very casual, are playing PvE, are not bothered by the latency? Because you wouldn't want to run this in PvP. Like, you can feel the latency quite badly, especially because my base frame rate is quite low. I want him to do some running. So it's not like it's okay. I think the picture quality is fine. I actually have no issues with the picture quality really. Yeah, the input delay is too much. It depends. Honestly, it depends. It depends on your system. I'm interested to try it out on some of the higher FPS maps as well. Thing is, this has got reflex on by default. I can cap it if I turn reflex off. Let me just move out the way of this guy so I don't just get shot in the face. But if I can cap it if I turn reflex off. So if we set that to 70... Actually, I'm at 165, aren't I? So I should be at 82 or something. Something like that. Doesn't mean I have to have reflex off, though. Has that made it any better? I mean, we're nowhere near the cap, so it shouldn't make any difference whatsoever, right? I wouldn't think. Hello? There's just like way too much like garbling of the textures and things. See, like on this, like it just looks really, really horrible. Like you can barely, like if you're moving left and right through an object, you can barely see what's going on like on the other side. Like look through here to Beluga on the other side. I mean, I know there's gonna be pixelation and stuff on the stream as well, but like it really garbles what's in the background. Yeah, you're starving for real frames there? Exactly. Exactly. This is the worst part of the map for me, over there. We could try let's try a scav run on a different map. See what happens. Yeah, go into yeah, the second floor Beluga, look around. I know, yeah, it is the worst spot. It is the worst spot. I can't really see the problem. Looks good to me. And this is the thing. It is going... Honestly, it's going to be subjective. And it depends on how you play. And it depends on what you want. So, if I go into Beluga without smooth motion on, and I want to like use a scope down that road, it genuinely will be 30-something FPS. And it will feel absolutely awful. Smooth motion replaces DLSS, right, if you force it through the driver. I don't believe so. They go like together. Let's just try it. Let's just try it on Scav Run. Just so we can just so we can see it online, like real FPS. You guys are also looking at it through like a video encode as well. So it's not what you see on the screen either. But no, I'm pretty sure that they all work on top of each other. So if you've got like DLSS, if you get like smooth motion, just doubles. It just starts doing the fake frames thing, whereas DLSS is still on. I get 59 to 60 FPS in that Beluga spot with a 4090 3900K. It's insane. I still have 1 millisecond frame time up from 1 millisecond. 15 millisecond frame time. Okay. Why are we on 40 FPS? Because A, I'm running smooth motion, and that lowers your frame rate automatically. Second part is that I was running offline with bots, with bosses, which also lowers your FPS. So that's the reason. So, because we were actually running in whatever that number was, times 2. I don't know why this FPS counter up here doesn't show the Nvidia smooth motion frames. Well, it kind of looks like it is now. But let's see. It looked like it was, and then now it's not. I'm just very interested by this because there's a lot of people who can't play customs for whatever reason because the FPS is just too late. The problem is a lot of these people just won't be able to. It's not going to help that you're It's not going to help that you're at like some super low FPS. That just makes it kind of worse. Also, it like messes up the menus too. Can you see this? Sometimes it like screws up the band of the scroll bar, like this thing. This scroll bar is like really horrible here. Because the Unity console shows FPS from the engine, not what displayed. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. I was thinking about trying to add my screen's frame rate, because I'm running it on G-Sync as well. I think I'm trying to make sure that this stuff is actually all working. Oh yeah, it messes up these interface menus as well, by the way. So if you're interfacing with a button, then it'll look kind of nasty as well. So look, like this. See the like garbling of the interface, because it doesn't know it's a HUD element. So rather than it just being crisp and in one place, it's like move it flashing around and moving around. Okay, so this is an online raid. This actually feels slightly better. Yo, Kunichio, what's going on? Yeah, we're testing Nvidia smooth motion. Let's go back over to Beluga. Let's go and have a look. People complain about not being able to run customs because they have a setting set to ultra max. I don't think that's necessarily fair. I don't think a lot of people are complaining about that per se. For G-Sync, are you doing the Blur Busters config? I have never even heard of that. A ton of people have it misconfigured. So I don't have a G-Sync monitor. I have a G-Sync compatible monitor or something. It definitely does work with G-Sync, but so this area is pretty bad. It comes down to like 30, 36. Free sync, yeah. Send you the link. Sure. The interface actually looks worse than AMD frame gen. Yeah, I mean, there's not that many places that I've actually liked the look of frame gen. The only place that I've had it work recently was the one in built into Grey Zone Warfare. When customers noted performance is very location dependent. Yeah, and is it free? I can't remember what mine is. My monitor is this thing. That's my monitor. That's what I have. Oh, it won't let me chat in my own chat on YouTube. There we go. That'd be interesting to look at, because there's so many different things that you can do with these things, right? You've got G-Sync, you've got DLSS, you've got frame capping, you've got V-Sync, there's just like millions of different settings to try and they're all like overlapping on each other. Is it an LG monitor? Yeah. Does free looking back and forth affect anything with smooth motion? Not really, other than that you're just kind of making its life difficult. You're moving so much though, you can't really tell that it's a problem. So this is currently running... Well, actually, you know what? It's weird though, because right now... So it technically is running at 90 FPS, I think. But it doesn't feel like it. But it doesn't feel like it's running at... I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's working on. I'm not sure if it's working. Actually, this isn't going to help, is it? If I've got... Hang on a minute. Oh, you don't see G-Sync, you just frame cap your monitors? Oh, I see. You've got to be a career in optimizing people's Tarkov settings. At one point, there was somebody who was doing that. I can't remember who it was. I have 9800 XVD and 5080, and I still dip to 60 sometimes on the streets. Game is impossible to optimize. Yeah. I'd be interested to see what that setup gets to up in the Beluga second floor. Yeah, with 40 or even 60 FPS, the time between frames is still very long. Yeah, you need a base frame rate of 100 for it to look and feel good, at which point you don't need to use it, right? Like, for most people, 100 FPS is totally fine. It doesn't feel like it's really working now. Maybe it's the latency that's making me feel like it's not working. Also, the issue is with this is you can't turn it on and off either in mid-game. So it makes it very hard to actually like test it. And it's annoying to capture because my capture's set up in 60 FPS. So it's hard to capture what's going on. Clem? I don't know if Clem's done a video on this yet. I know Parology has done a couple of videos showcasing smooth motion, but he's already running on like... He was already running at like 180 FPS or something. And so he was running it in like 300 FPS. But it didn't matter because the latency was already so low, you know? Hey guys, thank you for the prime. Thank you for the prime. Yeah, the game dips very low sometimes no matter what. Yes, that's definitely true. That is definitely true. So, I mean, this is the one map that I thought this would be useful on. But again, it's the usual thing of the one place that you want it is the one place that has the worst FPS in the first place. So you actually get like the worst experience from having it. Which is quite funny. Also, the other hilarious part about this is my GPU is only running at 30%. So which is one of the reasons why I ended up putting DLSS on in the first place. Because it doesn't make any difference to your frames most of the time, not on the streets anyway. And it pushes my usage up to 45%. Because it's blocked somewhere else. It's blocked on the CPU. Like, look, this is what Task Manager looks like here. So we're running at like 60% now, something like that, and that's pushing it up to 4K, effectively. But my CPU, the issue is like this thread here. I mean, none of them are at 100, but like this one also gets pretty spicy at times. I don't know. It's just so tricky. It's just so tricky. Everything's set to max, get 100 FPS every map. Yeah, we get 100 on the streets other than Beluga and Construction. I'll settle for that. Is it 4K or 2K? Well, I'm running it kind of in 4K at the moment. So my native res is this. Is 1440p. Looks like a PMC to me. We'll leave him to his raid so we can carry on testing. Otherwise I'll have to wait to get back into another scav. It's quite shimmery on this setting though. I don't know how much... I wonder how much DLSS is causing this to have some issues too. Because there could just be some incompatibilities with DLSS, for example. Because like I'm running the game... So I run my game in borderless windowed. And I have my desktop set in this res. So even when I lower the res down... This is fine for DLSS. But I don't know if it's fine for other stuff. So my desktop is still in 4K. It shouldn't affect it. Well, shouldn't, but sometimes these things do anyway. So my desktop is still running in 4K, but I'm running borderless windowed 1440p now. Is that affecting it in some way? I don't know. It's hard to know. Yes, the tech does nothing for people with really bad frame rates. That's the issue. Even if it does work, the fluctuation of frames makes it look much worse. Yeah, like even now. So this is at my base frame rate, but the whole thing looks like a fever dream. Where's the best section of the map? Over by Concordia, maybe? I mean, we could just play a different map. And just see what it feels like on factory or something. I play at 1440p. I should probably like remove DLSS when I'm testing this stuff just to make sure it doesn't get affected by it, you know? The heck? Net positive it anyway? PMC. I got in here. Seems like a scav. I would imagine, shooting T. Yeah, it's just a scav. He's understood the assignment. Woods? Yeah, we could try one on Woods. We could even try just a PMC run. Streets is bad cutting too? Yeah, yeah. Where does PMC go? Make this PMC's life a misery. That's a scav. Where did he go? Who are they shooting at? Like this, I guess. Was he the... He wasn't the same guy. The guy had like a raid bag on. Where were they shooting him? Was he up there? Anyway. Yeah, Castle's performance become worse since the expansion. Yeah, and they changed the... Yeah, top window above. I thought he was up there. Should we go see if we can find him? Oh, we need to... Could do with swapping this really if we're... Front plate is like busted as. Yeah. They're in here. Right. He must be up there. Let's see if we can get in. Yeah, so we're currently on smooth motion at the moment. In here, this guy. Or he's somewhere else. Oh, it sounds like the guy's somewhere else. Don't think he's in here actually. Gotta get back to the action. Your buck is over in the other rig. Good point. Maybe he was somewhere else. There was a load of shots over from here. Wait, did they kill this guy? This guy murdered the PMC man. Pretty funny. Really funny. Kid of an extract. Nah, it's alright. We're here just to mess about. I'm not really here to do anything in particular. This guy got. Take his good gun. Why are there so many just like random kitted people? Yeah, see, this isn't a PMC. This is scavs. Oh, moonshine, eh? Oh, that's ammo box. Okay. How's about that, eh? Wasn't expecting that. Funny stuff. Well, I guess given we're here, we can do a few random things. Go for it. Right, what's our extract then? Oh, arch. Okay, we'll just go to arch then. Yeah, backpack. Okay, frame gen spawns kitted PMCs. Yeah. Everyone's wearing the Eclipse, which I don't blame them for. It's this guy, Mr. Scav. Right. Okay. So what were we saying then? So. Hello, Thombo. What's going on? Upscales the GPU. Yep. Exactly. BSG massively reduce the skill gain in game. Why would they do that after everyone's got maxed? Yeah, more data for anti-aliasing and DLAA. Yeah, you get better for using DLDSR, rendering the game first in a high res. You get a lot better for like DLAA. Also, it's quite interesting how one thing that so many people are dead. One thing I hadn't realised that was better about using DLSR that you can't really replace any other way is you've got high res textures that only render at higher resolutions, which you just can't force those to come on in 1440p, which is kind of interesting. Okay, let me see. I'm running a 5800 X3D, so I'm not even on AM5. What's the actual goal with the settings? Best frame rate on 4K. Well, I just want them to work. I want to test them and to see whether they're worth it or not in different circumstances. That's the aim here. That's the goal. I just want to see like whether it's working, whether it's not. Can you get it into a place where there's at least no latency or like limited latency for people who? Because this is kind of what we're sort of trying to, figure out overall is how much latency does it add? Are there things you can do that decrease the latency? And what the frame rate actually gets to, and like, can you actually show that? Because for me, it doesn't even show it in here. LOD bias offset. What even is that? Lead you to that is a good one. Yeah, drag the weapon you want over the full weapon slot. Discard. Let go of the weapon. It will put it in the slot. Yeah, that's good. So you can. So what you can do is you can drag a gun. You can discard like this. If I press the button now, it'll just come up with the pop-up. But in game, it'll just discard it, and then you can just drop it in the slot. Yeah, that is a good one. Can you put the Class 5 diamond plate into one of Prapple's propane carriers? No. So you can put it into the 6B23-2. That takes either the Karun style plate or the diamond. The propane armor does not. It only takes the Karun style. And the press armor also only takes the diamond style. But you are quite right, actually, that this goes into the the sort of like desert camo version of the propane armor. The default class 4 one, not the default class 3 one. Yeah. Just something to monitor GPU usage. Well, when I wasn't using this, you can do whatever, right? You can put, there's like loads of statistics in here, so you can put in GPU utilization, FPS 1% low. You put in GPU temps, UV voltages, and whatever, fan speeds, CPU, but like just an overall number isn't really that useful for this. Got like render latency, we can have that on. These things here, the super resolution model override, and super resolution mode override, these refer to these. Because I've not got them overridden, it won't say anything. So this one, so like the super resolution mode, I'm just using the 3D application setting, which in this case is DLSS quality preset K. That's what I've got that set to. If you use Nvidia Profile Inspector, you can force a replay buffer over transparencies and then force a LOD bias offset of -1 to -2 to force high-level textures. Oh, I see. Okay, you can, I mean, you could basically do anything in Nvidia Profile Inspector, can't you? Do you know what's really interesting here? Is that this, I can feel it. This isn't, what's this running at? Why is this running so low? 60. Why is this causing so much problem? This might be DLSS again. This puts my GPU. Wait, it says GPU usage 98. That's not how it looks in Task Manager. That's kind of weird. We're trying to figure out if it's shit or not, basically. About to have you upgrade to M5. It's such a hassle, though. Maybe because you're not out of raid. Task Manager lies. I know. Okay, well, I didn't think about how much stuff we've got to put in here. Well, fortunately, I did buy another one of these, so we can just throw a bunch of things in there. Why is that not working? It won't let me use... Oh, it's because I'm in... Yeah, it's because I'm at the end of the raid. That's why. Just move these things. Yeah, won't you let me use shift click or control click to move stuff into a box? Kind of painful. Okay. Can you not sort from this menu either? It's kind of annoying. No key case. I actually haven't bought one though. I should buy one. I'm trying to get the Bitcoin farm though. So I kind of don't want to spend money on stuff I don't have to, because I don't have enough money for the Bitcoin farm as it is. Well, we don't need all of these S marches or this really. Whatever. We'll sort this out in a minute. Two layers? Healthy. Your model preset looks different. Yes, mine says use application. What was mine? Mine's on... this one. So the model preset one is because I'm using FrameGen. So you can see, I think it says... oh wait. think it's just because of this. Use global, use the 3D application setting, or use the 3D application setting. So that's why it's different. So that doesn't mean anything. That's not really changed anything. It's because I literally had this on this before, I think, rather than use the global. I had it set to the global, but set custom for Tarkov, but set to the same setting that I have global on. So that's the reason why. Can FrameGen generate me a few vertexes, please and thank you? Anyway, okay, so yeah, max frame rate. Reducing system latency in certain cases. I wonder if that's useful for EFT. Thanks for the tip on the PP19. Instead of running pistols a few weeks back, I was down bad. We're near 0 rubles, about to reset. My wife, trying to get out of ground zero, ran them at night with PP19 instead. Much more success. Level 26 now, progressing nicely. Yo! Well done, man. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I miss when GPU settings displayed on or off. Spitalier, thank you so much for the 5 gifteds. Appreciate it, dude. Appreciate it. Thank you, man. Yeah, I'm still not 100% sure about what to do about this in general. Whether it's working or whether it's not working. What we can try, it really lags when I move over there, but that's probably to do with, we're just gonna try an offline raid for a second again. But we're gonna do it on, maybe do it on interchange. Just to get, interchange's got usually got quite good FPS. Should we just take Killer off for a second? Just we'll see. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Like, Killer's just one guy, but we'll remove him for a minute. We'll just see what happens. Yes, appreciate you, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's nice when, you know, a new player turns up, needs some help. We give them some help, and then they're actually like progressing with the game and enjoying themselves. This is the best thing. 1080p gamers play Spot the Pixel. They changed drip out. Can you show it? I don't want to accept it to protect my cultist circle. Yes. Remind me after this, and I will show you guys. But yeah, so I've got mine on. I was testing a few things last night. Like, this is the thing. I haven't come to any solid conclusions yet, other than the settings I'm using don't seem very good. Whoa, it's a lot of rain. It's 40 now instead of whatever it used to be. I've got a cursor in the middle of my screen. Can we not do that? Why has that happened? I literally have my it's a feature, not a bug. Sprint from spawn and check your skill progress. We'll have a look. I don't know how to get rid of this, but we'll get rid of it in a minute. Alt enter twice. I'll try it in a minute. Mouse cursor crosshair. Yeah, impromptu crosshairs. I love that alt tab issue. Because I've got mine in borderless windowed, alt tab I don't think fixes it, but we'll see. Alt enter might fix it. Your DSL video was a blessing for my game. I switch it up and down depending, but yeah, it is good. Right. Oh, I can't see it because I'm elite strength. Sorry, endurance. That's because of the whole bug thing in the first place. So I can't actually even tell you. Lol. So let's try. Whoa. Well, that I might have done something unholy. Nope, it's still there. I don't know about DLAA because DLAA uses a lot more GPU. Okay, have we got any? My mouse cursor is like literally stuck in the middle of the screen. Have we got any? What suggestions have you got? What suggestions have we got here? Is there any way to make this sensible? Is there anything we need to test? Always running at 1.78 times works like a charm. See, I like that. Yeah, GPU somewhere near 80-90. That's what you want though. Going to raid overweight. Yeah, we'll have to. If you figure out how to fix this bug, you need to make it short and push it out. Exactly, 99% of the community has free GPU usage. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. So 85% on GPU is about where you start seeing actual frame drops if you push the GPU any further. DLDSR plus DLAA plus frame gen might be a bit too much AI for the 70 Ti super hyper. Yeah, I mean, I might even just be stretching the bounds of... I don't really fully know how these systems all interact with each other, but I know when you've got things in windowed mode, you're also interfacing with like the Windows like desktop manager layer as well. So it's a bit confusing. Maybe it's different for offline. Maybe. And G-Sync as well. Are the overlay frames accurate? They don't seem to be, and I don't really know why. This is the problem. I can't even... I'm finding it difficult to work out what's going on, because... Why is this taking so long? Okay. Yeah, window games also use Windows game optimization stuff. Exactly. So I'm running in borderless windowed, so it is. But if I don't do that, then the full screen thing... Oh, no, I think it is actually running in full screen. Okay, let me see. Let's see. So... Oh, dear. Okay, there we go. See, this is like... I think Windows is having some issues with my... with DLDSR. Maybe I turn that off for a minute. Like, it's not enjoying even just moving this around on its own. Think everyone's running borderless windowed? Yeah, but there's something funny going on with this monitor. So this is fine with the mouse, but as soon as I start moving around a window, it's in like 30 FPS. There's something weird about this. I don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna try. Let me just try. Let's go into control panel itself. We see it too. You will actually, because it's so low. It's like 20 FPS. So you'll see it on stream even. Like anything above 60, you won't see it anymore on the stream because it's running in 60. Let me just change the. Oh, let me just push my desktop res back to default, and then see what happens. Okay. It keeps kind of getting stuck. Yes, I would like to keep these. Maybe it's just... Oh, I think it's just the Nvidia app. Oh my god, it's the actual Nvidia app. That's actually horrendous. Why does that happen? If I have the Nvidia app too big, then it doesn't move around smoothly. That's horrible. That's truly horrible. Is it forcing frame gen on the app? It says it's off at the moment. Nvidia app may force use of GPU. In what do you mean? In what sense? I mean, if I just turn this off for a sec. No, but this is for the game though. This is for the game. It's like Tarkov frame in frame with scopes. Yeah. So look, it looks quite bad. I don't know if you can see that. I wonder how big I can make this. Oh, it's because I've got like 3 monitors, so I can make this app absolutely huge. Can you see? I'm moving it on my second monitor. It might be a multi-monitor problem there. And you can see, because of the desktop, you can actually see the GPU usage spiking. When I tried to move this around. I don't have the same issue. Huh. I wonder what's causing this. Nvidia app is using GPU acceleration. But then why is that making it like shit the bed and go like 20 FPS? I don't know what's going to happen if I press settings. Hold on. Is it the overlay? I mean, it still doesn't feel great. It's nowhere near as smooth as the Tarkov launcher. Why is the Nvidia app so scuffed on my machine? It's only the Nvidia app as well. It's like, it's not even like Nvidia control panel's fine. How can I turn... I wonder if you could even do this. Nvidia app turn off hardware acceleration. I wonder if there's anything about it on the internet. I have the overlay disabled. I read the overlay added huge performance. Well, I've turned it off now and it's still occurring. I only had it on previously because I figured that it would actually tell me like the correct FPS. Like it's Nvidia themselves that are doing the frame gen, so I would have thought that it would work with the frame generation to show me the 2 FPSs. Because for example, lossless scaling gives you like two FPSs, like your base FPS and the extended FPS. Basically, the Nvidia app is rubbish. Does Discord do the same? I don't have Discord open. Do you have the overlay turned off or just not on screen? I have it actually turned off. Anyway, I mean, we could try it. Let's try it again. Let's try it again now that we've got it off. I've still got smooth motion on. Oh, I have it running in. Oh, this might actually. This might complain about this. Because I've got it in. Oh dear. This might. Tarkov might not be very unhappy about this. Let's see what happens. I've got it running in the wrong res. Let me just close this a second. I don't actually want to open that window. Let me do it. Let me change this. Let me change it to. Here we go. Yeah, and borderless. There we go. Play it like that. So I had it still through the Nvidia app. I still had it set in the super resolution, but I turned super resolution off. So that was going to cause like some real problems. Okay, interesting. I haven't switched to the app yet. I'm still on control panel. Well, they both exist. And now it's opening on the wrong monitor. Ah! This really is the ninth circle of hell. What the hell? I normally disable all overlays. Me too. God. Gotta love it when it starts with my portrait monitor instead of the main monitor. Yeah, Tarkov is so bad for that. There's no setting for... Oh, I still have smooth motion on, don't I? I literally told it to start in full screen borderless. Rather than just borderless. Anyway. That'll do. That's okay. Oh my god. Right. What were we going to try? I can't even remember now. I can't even remember what we were trying. Show stats. What? These things? I don't know if the problem is Windows or Nvidia or maybe both. Yeah, so this frame thing doesn't tell you anything about the render time or the lag, right? This frame MS. This just tells you... It doesn't... Surely this just tells you, from what we can see here, doesn't this just tell you 60 divided by... Sorry, 1 divided by 60 in milliseconds times 1,000. That just shows you this number, right? Isn't that just this frame MS? It's just another way of looking at frames. If you're talking about the other stats, my monitor's like flickering slightly. River Tuner? Yeah, I couldn't get River Tuner to load the overlay yesterday. I did try it. I gave it a go, but I couldn't get it to load properly. Did you see testing showing the unheard menu drops 0.1 and 1% and 0.1% performance by 5 to 50% and creates frame spikes every 5 seconds? We've had this issue before with like the labs one, I think. Create everything half a second freeze every time I start or close an app. If you're in full screen, the flicker could be G-Sync. I've got it on borderless windowed. I can't alt-tab properly if I don't have borderless windowed on, though, is the issue. So where's Nvidia control panel gone? So I've got this guy set to. Yeah, I've got G-Sync. I've got the G-Sync compatibility stuff on. Ah, hold on. Have a look at this. Enabled for full screen, enabled for windowed and full screen. Apparently I've only got it set to here somehow. That must have reset somehow because I know I always play on windowed. Enable settings, right. Apply. Let's watch everything just explode. Okay. Okay, that seems to have done it. Hasn't blown anything up. That's good. What monitor do you have? LG Ultra Gear? Yeah, mine's exactly the same. GP 850. Mine's exactly the same. Okay. Wonder if this moves any better. No, it doesn't, but whatever. Did you update your GPU driver? It resets control panel? Yeah, I did. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. I try not to update my graphics drivers as much as possible, to be honest, because that's usually when things go wrong. But, okay, well that certainly seems better. This has apparently got... So this is supposed to be with... Let me just make sure I've got it on. Actually, I can turn... Let me just turn on the overlay for a second, just so I can actually check. SMNA. Wonder why it doesn't know. Why doesn't it know about smooth motion? Just says NA. It's not ideal. Maybe it's because I turned it on halfway through. It's probably because I turned it halfway through a raid. It's probably the reason. I would think. Anyway, that feels quite good. What does it think what FPS is right now? Oh, I mean, it would feel pretty good, wouldn't it? I actually can't tell if smooth motion is on. I guess we would be able to tell if we run around and just look at the picture for a bit. Actually, yeah, we can tell this way, can't we? Or we look at... I'm not sure if it's actually running. The picture kind of looks too stable. Oh, maybe not actually. Oh no, it is running. It is running. By the way, you're running, not running any power saving modes on Windows? Nah. Okay. There's a little bit of latency, but it's not that bad. Is this super sampled to 4K still? No. So I'm currently running in my native res. I turned DLSS off just in case there was any confusion. So this should be running at 100 FPS in reality. I wonder what my monitor says now. I was trying this before to get my monitor, because you won't be able to see this, but I could put an FPS counter on. But before it was just telling me, oh yeah, I'm running at my max FPS the whole time. See, it's really weird. Like the frame counter on my monitor says 165, 94, 165, 93, 165, 87, 165, 102, 165, 91, 100. But it's like flicking back and forth. What if I just run around a bit? Let's have a look. 80, 65, 70, 87, 83, 85, 165, 85. It's just not working properly. The frame counter on my actual monitor just doesn't seem to, like, how could it not know what the... Or maybe it's something else. Maybe I don't know. That seems weird. It's going to ask if you had monitor overclocked, but that explains that. I don't think so. What else could I do? The Ultra Gear counter doesn't work. It always says 240 Hz in my model. Yeah. I thought as much. The frame times are probably so erratic. I mean, they might be. Let's have a look at the in-game frame counter. I mean, it goes... The thing is, it's not moving around that much, is it? Do you have the VRR turned on? Which is that? My monitor only goes to 165. I was in, like, you can overclock it to a 180? I didn't even know how you do that. When I bought it, it said oops. When I bought it, it said 165 was the top. VRR equals G-Sync FreeSync. Yeah, the variable refresh rate. But like, how do you turn it on the actual monitor? Do you need to turn it on the monitor itself? Where would that even be? I don't have a remote. I've just got the button underneath. General. Browser information. Reset. Settings, game adjust. Adaptive sync. I've got it on basic. What does that mean? There's extended, basic, and off. What's the difference? What's extended do? Any clue? Basic versus extended. Let's have a look. Ah, and it literally one about my monitors appeared. Adaptive sync should I use for the 27GP850? Basic and extended. I can't find out what they do. Use extended. It has a larger VRR range. Only use basic if you experience flickering. Just try everything. I think extended is support both FreeSync and G-Sync. Let's see. Adaptive sync extended. Guess what? It's put it on the other monitor. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. We're on extended now. Extended is closer to G-Sync by my understanding. Mine is a button that has a menu. I can just turn it off or kept it off. Fortunately, nothing on the other monitor. Oh my god. Oh, now what has it done? Something truly horrible has happened. It's rearranged my monitors. That really is annoying. That really is a pain in the ass. Why has it done that? Okay, I've got to do that in the normal display settings. My monitors are now in the wrong order. What the hell? Hold on a minute. You're not... Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, I see. Something terrible has happened to the stream as well. You're not even seeing my main monitor anymore. All right, give me a second. Give me a second. 1, 2... Oh my god. Oh, this is like actually broken everything. Okay, 3 and 4. But these, why are these now in different reses? This is not good. Yeah, G-Sync compatible, sure. Sure. LG Elgato. Hold on a minute, guys. This is truly horrible. G and 3. Yeah, okay. So 3. Okay, so 2 and 3. Clicky, clicky. Wait, I want 2 is the one I want. Clone with 3. Okay. That sits there. Yeah, that's about right. Apply. Hey, look, we're back. We did it. Okay. I can get back onto my main monitor again. This is good. I need to adjust that, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Oh my god. All right. The Rube Goldberg machine, but for tech issues. What is it we're watching? We're trying to get frame gen on in Tarkov. Had so much fun with Windows updates last week. All USB ports didn't work anymore. Oh, that is actually horrible. Gigabee's tech channel, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to run out of food and stuff. Oh, 500. Ah, what's happened? Oh, no, I didn't press yes, I would like to keep this after the 15 seconds. Oh, God, I hate this stuff. Why is it always like this? Why is it everything like this all the time with doing anything with computers? Why? It's so damn miserable. Ugh. Obviously, I didn't remember any of the settings that I set it to. It set it back to what it was before. Got to wait. This is why I didn't see the icon, because it was over here. It's still thinking about it. I've just got... There we go. Your desktop configuration has changed. Would you like to keep it? Yes, I would. Thank you very much. Okay. Right. Now what? Okay, so we've managed to get ourselves into a semi-sensible position. Right, so we've currently got frame gen on at the moment. Yeah, you can tell because of the wibbly menu here. So frame gen is working. At least I think it is. Feels like it is. I think so. And the latency doesn't feel too bad. This is just in native though. So we're just on native currently with DLSS on like we usually do. Okay. Right, well, great. Game adjust tab in monitor should have an overclock button on your model. I don't think it does. Settings, game adjust. Oh, there is one, overclock. After the monitor reboots, change the maximum refresh rate in the GPU control panel. If the screen display appears abnormal, turn it off again. Huh. We're on extended adaptive sync at the moment, which seems to be does seem to be working at least. I kind of need to get to like a high frame rate map, I think. So now is that just EFT? Is that an EFT problem? That's just an EFT culling problem, right? Surely. Do you have the Nvidia overlay? I turned it off because it looked like it was causing some annoying problems. With it on, it's on the wrong monitor. It was not showing previously the double in game. It actually just wasn't showing that. It was just showing the same thing. Oh, goddamn. It'll go to 180 Hertz. You know, it wasn't even marketed that way. Which is kind of mental to me, actually. It wasn't even marketed like that. It is a bit flickery, actually, with this enhanced thingy. I don't know how much of that is to do... Ah. I'm not even... This is some ghostly stuff. What's happening? My D key is like permanently on. There we go. This is the most cursed stream ever. If you haven't pressed it, that's custom. You can look for smooth motion. Yes, so I had that on before, but I turned it off because it seemed like it was causing issues. So it is a bit flickery still. I feel like maybe, well, some things are like DLSS works quite nicely, and it does what you'd think it does. Whereas this, I feel like it's just too much. It's too much effort, and there's too many glitches. And if you, I feel like something weird is happening. Like my key inputs are not being registered correctly. So sometimes when I press, maybe this is this is literally due to the monitor change, it seems. But sometimes my key inputs are not being registered, and then it's being registered like the unpress is not being registered. That's only just started happening after I changed the monitor. Change it back? Maybe. Let's see. Everything's on fire, yeah. I'm just going to put it back on basic for a minute. Let's just see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't blow up the whole stream setup again. I know it's green, but that's because it's reopened on the wrong monitor. Again. Okay, this is what I had it on earlier. Okay, this is very, very strange. Okay, so what's kind of the conclusion? What's the conclusions then with this, at least for my monitor? This is like the single most cursed raid I've ever seen. What the hell is going on? This is so bizarre. Can you get into these cash registers? Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of all the AI stuff either. And it's difficult to know whether it's making things... Let's just turn all this crap off for a minute and just see how it feels. It's hard to know whether it's making things better or worse or whatever, right? Because it's like it feels kind of okay now, but like most of the time I don't need it in EFT. Tried DLSS in Arena and 10 seconds in I swiped my hello across the chain fence and saw it glitch around and said no. See, I don't mind DLSS on its own. I prefer it to TAA. That's the deal for me with DLSS, is that at least it's better than TAA. Because TAA also is pretty bad. I've been hearing a lot about AI insta headshotting recently. Have you been experiencing that? I haven't gone out my way to look at too many raiders and rogues, but I've heard basically any of the advanced AI apparently are doing that. Yeah, Tarkov TAA is just bad. Or TAA is just bad in general. But yeah, the Tarkov's AA is just terrible. Preset K I find is pretty good. But I don't think Preset K is perfect either. I've definitely got my gripes with Preset K, and it seems to me to be quite smeary. We don't get any super sampling. Well, there is super sampling if you use DLDSR, which is what I was doing before. That was the best solution as far as I was concerned. DLDSR 1.78 times plus quality DLSS. That was working quite nicely. I wanted to test with some more custom DLSS settings though, which have now been put into the game. So you can now do things like 80% DLSS. I wonder if DLSS is better at high FPS. I think it's better at higher res. I have a 4070 Ti Super, so it's good, but not like insane. That's Nvidia tech? True. Yeah, true. There is, I think, isn't there like an AMD version of the upscaling stuff? Don't remember. So, but I definitely DLSS improves the higher the res is. Yeah, you can't make data out of thin air with AI, upscaling or creating fake frames. This is true, but you can try to. I think a lot of the time the benefits that come from. I mean, that's a bit like, I don't know. That's a bit like saying like you can't use AA. You know, like you can't use anti-aliasing either because you're trying to. I mean, maybe that is a stretch, but. Is there anything else I should try with smooth frames? I hate the way it is in the menu, though. Between menus. It's like kind of annoying. Like, the thing is with the upscaling, you can now set the upscaling to whatever you like. So obviously there's a limit, right? But like DLAA, which doesn't use any upscaling at all, in my opinion looks significantly better than Tarkov's native anti-aliasing. So there's a scale between, you know, DLAA and DLSS like ultra performance. There's a line somewhere that's going to be personal preference on where you cross it. In my opinion. That's how I feel about it anyway. Want to get rid of some of this junk, eh? Just some like rando M4. Yeah, it's just that DLAA takes quite a bit of... Well, it's not that it takes quite a bit of GPU, actually. That's probably the wrong way to think about it, right? DLA just is because it's rendering at native. See, I just had the control key get stuck on then as well. I wonder whether this is a frame gen thing and not necessarily a monitor thing. Oh yeah, we got ammo case out of that random raid, didn't we? It's actually quite useful because I was being lazy about buying one. Kind of handy. Unplug your keyboard before you start doing anything else. Let's just have a look at factory offline for a sec, because that usually has pretty high FPS. Yeah, that's the thing. If you're used to a higher benchmark of stuff, then you will notice things like jittering or whatever. I think that's true. Because there's people that only play like single player games and stuff, and they're happy to use 2x frame gen. It makes no difference to their experience. Whereas people who are, yeah, high FPS gamers playing on like competitive titles. Altar doesn't work for mine. I don't know why, but it doesn't. So the problem is my base FPS is like really quite low. Even on factory, it's only like 68. I wonder why. I could have sworn it was harder than that normally. Like you can tell it's on because of how it garbles the UI. I think something's wrong. I'm just gonna turn it off. Do you have a CPU bottleneck? I shouldn't on factory, but see, like factory usually goes a lot higher than that. Let me go and check. All the time it's quicker just to Alt F4 out of this screen. Alright, let me just turn smooth frames off. Right, let's go back into graphics. Smooth motion or whatever it's called. Global default off. Let's just do that. Then it puts low latency mode. Wait, low latency mode back to off. It's kind of weird. I need to go and have a look at what makes a difference on that one. Record a slow motion video with my phone and go frame by frame, show the ghosting, but in my opinion it's pointless because my principle will never be as good as real frames. I am using reflex in game, yeah. I wonder whether it turns it on in game by having it off out of the game though. I think I had it on before. God, there's so many settings now, it's crazy. I'm gonna have to go through this this guide that was linked previously. The Blur Busters one. I need level 4 traders build guide. I don't think enough people are level 4 traders to make it worth making it. I'm sorry to say. There's not enough people to to justify making the level 3 one, really. Low latency also drops your FPS a bit, right? Not from what I understood. But anyway, so if you have the GPU horsepower for it, DLSS 99% custom is probably the best setting for anti-aliasing, in my opinion, because that has no upscaling and that just uses Nvidia's anti-aliasing rather than TAA, which I imagine was probably better, right? You change the refresh rate on the monitors to check in Windows that has the highest rate chosen. I'm pretty sure it does. Yeah, it's set to 165 at the moment. Right. Ah, but I've got it frame capped. Hold on. I think. Oh, I actually do have this off because I was trying to set this frame cap. There we go. That should remove the cap, I think. Yeah, look, so factory offline runs at like 160 FPS for me. This is how it usually looks. Why do you 99? Because you can't do 100. Don't you should talk up build guides? If any talk up your build guides, help me. I'm about to get all of them to level 4. Well, I'll think about it. I'll think about it. So I don't understand what's happening here then. So like now in offline, and there's AIs on this map, right? We're running well over 100 FPS on factory. If only it were that easy normally, eh? This is cursed. Tagila. Anyway, what are we looking at? Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah, so this... So if you turn this off and turn TAA on... How does that look in this spot? 165? So that hits the cap. That's like my monitor's refresh rate. But this removes the cap, so it actually doesn't tell me much. This is offline, yeah. Okay, so 150, so we're below the cap now. I'm just intrigued to see, while we're looking at it, what this will do. Yeah, 145. So you can see there's a little performance boost, GPU-wise, for going up to DLSS. Tiny one. What if I swap... I'm actually interested. What happens if I swap profiles to, like, the D was the one that Tarkov used to be on. That was the original DLSS. So you actually get... So you do actually get more frames with D. Funnily enough. It's slightly less intensive. I was actually tempted to play around with J. Because apparently J is slightly more shimmery, but less ghosty. What about FSR quality, just for fun? Sure. FSR 3 quality. I mean, that gives me the most frames, actually, of all of them. interestingly. Game is very stuttery for me with smooth motion, oddly enough. Yeah, smooth motion's causing some real problems. Looks pretty bad though, the gun at least. I'm not sure if I can tell the difference. Oops, I'm on preset J, but they're more or less the same. Can you actually tell? I guess preset J is quite stable. How did that not kill him? So around the actual, there's like the handguard rail, which has got that kind of, it's got that sort of, I can't remember what you'd call it, that sort of pixely effect on it. Those kind of waves. About the same on K. Yeah, it is actually quite a lot worse on FSR. That's the thing. I think, you know, DLSS is just better, right? New cheats? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, the shimmering. The shimmering is a lot better. But there's certain circumstances on DLSS. I don't know if I can. I'm not sure if I can find. I might need to be like outside or something. Actually, is there any? There's not really any grass on this map, is there at all? Even on the outside bit. I don't think there is any. Been testing DLSS 3.10.4. Also pretty nice for motion fixes. Is that upgrading like preset K and stuff? Yeah, there's nothing out here that's grassy. Let's just let me go to woods and see if I can find it. I was about to say we are overdoing the research, but that's the whole Gigabeef thing. Well, the thing is, I still feel like I don't fully understand what's going on with smooth motion. It just doesn't seem to work. Yeah, FSR is an old version, yeah. I forced the new DLL into override. Do you think it's better then? Do you think it's better than the current implementations? Are they the same ones? Is it F and K still that they're working on and they're going to update those, or is it like I and J or something? Do you know what I mean? Let me just go on woods. Let me just show you on woods. Moving leaves, FSR. The thing is, leaves are problematic for computers just in general. You get that anyway just on broadcasts with encoding, right? Leaves are just annoying because they're very different. Like those two problems are they're like very like encoding and like upscaling. They're different problems, but they're fundamentally connected in the same way. And that trying to generate one leaf picture from another leaf picture, unless you know which way the tree's going, it's kind of hard to actually do. You notice K has bugged reflections on streets in the underground car park? Yeah, there are some, yeah. EFK, the only presets in the new DLS, so they cut out all the old stuff. Oh, really? So they've got rid of them completely. Interesting. I haven't used anything prior to F for ages, in fairness. Yeah, does anyone use Intel XeSS? Well, I want to feel like if you can get away without DLSS and frame gen or any of that rubbish, then that's fine. You got to do something about AA though. That's the reason why I think at least DLSS has something going for it, because you got to deal with AA at some point somehow. Okay, let me see if I can make it. Let me see if I can make it happen. I'm not sure under which circumstances it occurs. It's like, sometimes it's just really smeary. Which one are we on? Are we still on preset K? Yeah. It's usually on like foliage and leaves and stuff. Like when one texture's like if one texture's over another, and you see this like it like ghosts the texture. I have access that's actually really good in a few games I've played. Maybe BF6 playable. Nice. Is this all this test to make a best settings video in the near future? I'm not even doing best settings one. I'm literally looking at like smooth motion in particular. Like right now I've just gone down a complete like tangent. Also, one thing I have noticed is that if you're using something like DLSS, that doesn't seem to work inside your scope. I don't really know. It's like slow movements of foliage. Ah, there we go. There we go. Here, just on top here. I don't know whether you'll be able to see it on the stream. Can you see it there? I'm almost not moving slow enough. Let me try and go slower. Can you see? It's like using the ah, there we go. It's there. You see on the edges of the foliage? It's using the like the last frame and like ghosting like crazy. Like it's absolutely horrible. I really, really detest this about preset K. Oh, it's awful. Can you see it? I don't know whether you can see it with the encoding. Can you see? Look at the edge of this. Look at the edge of this leaf here. This foreground tree. It's like it trails into the grass. It's because it's two textures that they're very similar. They're very similar in hue. Can't really see it. Don't think we can see it. Oh, man. You might be. The people on YouTube might be able to see it. I can now. Let me see if I can get closer. If I can get closer, it'll be more obvious. Because then it'll be bigger on the screen. Can you see it there? Like obviously, you know, the 4040p monitor, like sat like this, looking at it, it's like really, really obvious to me. But like, yeah, on Twitch, it's probably not going to be as obvious. It's probably more obvious on YouTube. Again, for the same reasons as why this foliage is annoying for video encoding. It's also the reason why you can't really see it, because the two hues are the same. So the encoder isn't also dealing with it very well, probably. Yeah, issue with temporal techniques. Now, I understood. Now, I've thought about this many times, but I've never been in a situation where I've been able to replicate it when I've not been, like, fighting somebody. So I've been intrigued as to whether J was any better. Because J is supposed to be more... It basically has less temporalness in it. It's more jittery, but it's less smeary than K, apparently. It is actually significantly better. On that issue, anyway. It's much less smeary than K is. But I don't know whether the background is more flecky. You know, it's like more bitty in the background. Just gonna have a quick look at the background as well. This is just like test PCs with Giga at the moment. I don't know if that's any better, really. Tarkov's always been quite shimmery. Like, if you look up in this area of the screen, to be honest, any of the foliage, it's all like Tarkov's shadows have always been really, really, really jittery. And this, I think it's to do with the way that they just implement certain shadows and stuff. I think, yeah, so I think the deal is, so as far as I understand it, J uses less temporal stuff, so it makes it more shimmery, but less ghosty. K uses more temporal stuff, so it's less shimmery, but more ghosty. K is more of an average, in a very, very simple terms, than J is. J has got less averaging, so it's more shimmery, but the ghosting artifacts don't last as long. Whereas K is more stable. Yeah, that is a BSG bug. AA transparency is missing the AA mode replay. You can force the fix in NVIDIA profile inspector. Really? Try TAA versus that. So I mean, TAA, the whole image dances without me even moving. So this is one of the big things about the, like, if you have DLSS off, you've got to figure that situation out somewhere, right? If I just stick quality on K, and I sit still, the image is like perfectly. There's like one little spot in the middle that's shimmering. Other than that, the image is perfectly still. Whereas if you swap over to this is why I stopped using TAA. Because even when you're not doing anything, the whole image is just like, and it's partly to do with the way BSG have got their graphics set up too. But you can see it all over the place. You can see it all over the trees. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on Twitch with the stuff, but a pure 4040p render, you've got to yeah, with as traditional AI, you've got to have some better version of anti-aliasing. Now it's a real shame that you can't just DLAA in here. That'd be quite good. We can force it though. The wire fences, yeah, it's just bad. Right, so the other thing, this was the other part. So this is the other thing that they added, which was the DLSS override mode, where you can. So this is the same as in the game, right? Quality, balance, performance, ultra performance, custom, and DLAA. DLAA doesn't work for some reason. This does not work, but custom at like 99%. This actually works really well. So yeah, what is it? Anti-aliasing transparencies and missing the AA mode replay. What does that mean, Riyadh? You seem to know a lot more about this than I do. The shadows truly suck even with temporal AA. Yeah. Trying smooth motion a second ago, it's causing weird shimmering all over my game. Do I cap my FPS? This is what we're trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out if there's a way to make smooth motion actually work. Is it not softened at 99%? I don't know. TLDR, DLSS is not hitting trees, grass, and glass. Anything that is a transparent texture. So what? It's just being rendered with no AA? Yeah, I got so used to DLSS turning off for a second while opening inventory, I can't even see it anymore. Yeah, it just feels normal to me. DLSS flags being ignored. It's using TA flags and braking. Huh. Interesting. The shimmering's probably just the frame gen. It caused a lot of artifacting. Yeah, so there is some artifacting from the frame gen in and of itself going like being sort of shimmered. Like sometimes it's really stable, depending on the picture, and sometimes it's really stuttery, which is not very nice. Frame gens always cause me issues in scope and distant artifacts. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out. So the use case really is for people who can only play Streets at like 30, 40 FPS and are willing to tolerate the latency, for example, in PvE mode. Is it a better experience for them with frame gen on and playing at 60 than it is playing at 30? Okay, so this is with DLAA or DLSS 99. I tinker a lot. Reason I've been a mod for Clem for so long. Ah, now it's all becoming apparent. So this is DLAA. Effectively, this is 99%. This is 99% DLSS, so it's basically TAA. It's basically DLAA, as good as. As I said, it doesn't work properly if you put it on DLAA. I don't know why. I'm the one behind the curtains. That is shocking. Not really. He does a lot with the Unity. Yeah. Someone's got to do all the backbreaking testing. I mean, it looks good. I don't think it necessarily looks any better than DLSS quality, though, really, most of the time. I would use DLSS at 99% if the game just had better performance. I'll stick to quality till they patch the FPS. Separate subject, by user recommended healing settings, but recently full heal has not been working. Is that where you hold down the button and then it doesn't show up anything? It flicks up for a second and then disappears. There's a bug with that. Come back in a bit. I hope you all figure it out. So how are we going to make it actually function? So it is. Oh wait, you're right. It's gone. Oh no, full treatment's here. So what's the issue with full treatment? Sometimes it disappears. Sometimes the menu disappears, which is a bug. But full treatment should, as long as you've restarted your game or whatever, it should appear. I don't know what makes it disappear. Oh, it does only heal one. I don't usually use much full healing, but you're right. Different bug. Just healing one limb. I don't use full healing all that often, so I actually haven't noticed. I wonder if it... Oh. Oh, we can still use it, though. I wonder if it does it when you're doing it like this. Let me have a look. This is really the only way that I use full heal. It's doing it like this. Oh, interesting. It does break. Okay. It doesn't carry on the healing anymore. Yeah, you're right. You're correct. Can we just say nice jump? Yeah, I was trying to get a heal going. Release is coming. You know it's BSG. It's a conservation of bugs. Bugs are never created. Well, bugs are never destroyed. They just move from one part of the code to another. Okay, fine. So how are we going to get smooth motion to actually function and not be shit? Is there any way? Is there a way of doing that? Because right now it seems pretty ass. To be honest with you. If we turn this on, and then we turn the Nvidia overlay on again. So at least we don't really care that much about performance, but... What does Nvidia say smooth motion even does? Is it... Yeah, it's frame gen at a driver level, which sounds cool, but that actually just means it's bad. Because it's not integrated into the actual game. So it's basically doing what lossless scaling does, which is just taking the full frame picture and doing frame gen based on that. So it doesn't know anything about motion vectors. It doesn't know anything about like what's a HUD and what's not. It doesn't know any of these things. So it just has to try and figure it out as best as it can, which means that all of the UI, which means the UI is like really garbled in lots of situations between frames. It just looks really, really bad. Could just be broken on your 3-monitor setup and borderless full screen. Well, this is the thing. I'm trying to like remove stuff. So I've removed DLA. Sorry, wait. Have I still got DLAA on? I think I do, but it actually is. That's kind of by the by. Like, that doesn't really matter. We'll ignore the fact that I've got DLAA on. I think I do anyway. Oh yeah, I've still got the custom 99% thing. Nvidia recommends not to use reflex with low latency. Wait, are those two things different? Is reflex and Nvidia low latency two different pieces of technology? I'm not limiting my frames right now. I was before, but it was causing me to have to check and uncheck like random boxes. You need to remove reflex, limit FPS to half of the monitor's refresh rate. I need to get rid of this overlay as well, because otherwise we can't read the in-game doodad. But look, one of the really confusing issues with this is that for some reason the Nvidia overlay shows the same as the... I need to find a dark area so we can actually see what's going on. But the Nvidia overlay shows exactly the same thing. So it says smooth motion is active, but the Nvidia overlay shows exactly the same frames as the in-game timer, which I don't really understand. Anyway, I usually use Nvidia Reflex. It's called Nvidia Reflex Low Latency here. It's because of Reflex. So what, if I just turn Reflex off, then what? So I had this set to 82, which is 164 divided by 2, because that's my frame rate right now. But it still doesn't show it any different. Preset K is also active. Is that a problem? That's not a problem, right? Yeah, so Reflex is off. In-game frames are currently half the monitor at 82. Yeah, both the FPS counter and SM active are really buggy in video overlay. Could be working even though it says inactive. Well, we can tell it's on. We can tell it's on because of the way that the UI looks when you look at stuff with it on. Like, because you can see the UI garbling, which is obviously not great. It seems a lot more stable now than it was though. See, when I inspect and get rid of the text. Just an observation? Okay. Reflex is the engine implementation for low latency. See, I thought these things were the same thing, no? Everything else, you can try dedicated full screen. Oh god, I hate dedicated full screen, but we can try it. Let's just put it on dedicated full screen for a minute. Okay. Has that worked? Oh, that has actually worked. Yeah, full screen has frame pacing issues with the current Unity. Sure. But I just want to see if it does it. That does actually function. That does actually do what we thought it was going to do. But why is my FPS so low? The base frame rate is even worse, and like even the smooth motion frame rate is like, that's like, this is way worse than with it off. Like the increased frame rate is worse than with smooth motion off. Like I'm obviously I feel like I'm doing something wrong. I wish they would update Unity again to fix the full screen issue, otherwise it's stuck this way. What exactly is the problem? Does it show on stream when you're capped at 60 FPS? You won't be able to see it over 60, obviously, because the stream is in 60. For me, using lossless scaling, FPS problem gone. It's still the same FPS, but feels high refresh rate. Lossless scaling seems to be less buggy, honestly. Are you using any external frame rate limiter? No. No, I'm not. Oh yeah, I'm not allowed to Alt-Tab anymore. Oh no! I gotta change it back to board. This is the reason why I don't have it on full screen. I literally can't. You have to make sure that you are just gaming. Not allowed to do anything else. I feel like we should be restarting the game between a lot of these changes. I know it's a pain in the ass, but yeah, there is stream tearing between the stream PC and, because that's on its own thing. little above me, but Unity isn't speaking the X app API correctly in full screen, causing stutters and frame racing issues. It's fixed with later builds of Unity. Ah, it just doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy how low the FPS is now. The thing is, even though it's broken in the Nvidia overlay, let me just turn the overlay off. Even though it's broken in the Nvidia overlay, it does seem to be doing the job. Because if you go into streets with an LPVO, it doesn't feel like 30 FPS. I've gone and tested both of them, and it doesn't feel bad. Full screen bug. Hard to tell when there are multiple, I know. Yeah, the current Unity build hits FPS by 20 FPS for full screens when everyone's playing borderless. Is this with G-Sync on? Yes. Oh my goodness me. And there's like 3 different places to change stuff these days, because because even though we've got the Nvidia app, we still have Nvidia control panel as well. Because there's things you can't do in the Nvidia app, I don't believe. So like this is where I was turning on. Sorry, this is how I was fixing the DLDSR, dynamic super res. So that's me changing my desktop, you see. Okay. And then in this thing, I want to change this back to normal. There. We'll turn smooth motion back off. Then we've got low latency. This is off in here. But then you turn it on in game. Does that matter? Yeah, the base frame rate is still pretty garbo for some reason. I know. I don't know why it is. There's like various things on the Nvidia Reddit. Like, can someone explain how properly to use smooth motion with a G-Sync setup? Recently came across smooth motion. My monitor FPS is 165 Hz. I've got a 5090. When I tried smooth motion, I get atrocious FPS. Did some digging, found smooth motion doesn't play nice with V-Sync, and frame rate limits should be turned off. Or if I turn them off, it's going to interfere with G-Sync, which is supposed to be confirmed as V-Sync, and the frame limit limiter. Most people saying it should just work. I don't know. Just to prove the point, just to square the circle, well, I'll just show you what the FPS is supposed to be. Because it was like 50 before. I go back to CRT in a heartbeat, but analog signals on GPUs disappeared with the 30 series GPUs. Could you actually not anymore? I didn't even know that was... you couldn't go and have a CRT anymore. Works on my machine. Reflex and low latency are not the same. They do the same job but separate. So I wonder what I've got it set to now. I can't even remember anymore. I don't even know. There's too many levers. The G-Sync lever, the DLSS lever, the smooth motion lever, the DLDSR lever, Nvidia Reflex section. There's just so much. So I think The only conclusion I've come to right now is that at the moment smooth motion just doesn't work for me at all. Which is kind of sad. I was hoping that at least if the latency was manageable, like I wasn't ever going to use it myself, but because I'm happy with Streets, right? Streets is good enough for me most of the time. For my limited testing, G-Sync off with smooth motion feels good. The in-game counter stays the same as without. If I enable G-Sync, I need to limit my FPS in order not to feel the input delay. That is interesting. Yeah, so I've got reflex back on again. So yeah, I'm supposed to be running at like 100 and something FPS. So really, if you're adding smooth motion on top of that, really it should be running at 200 or something. So now I've got DLSS back on. Now you can pop the quality of this up slightly. And you do see a bit of a frame hit on that. I'm still not 100% sure why you see a frame hit there. Anybody got any ideas about that? So my GPU usage goes to... Well, this is actually not... I can't really show this very easily. Because the GPU usage jumps up when you've got something in a window. Which is annoying. Oh, actually, no. To be fair, it is actually at 86 or something. Anytime the GPU goes above like 85, 86, it seems to start hurting frames in EFT. So if I change this down to 1440p, for example, and we have a look at the GPU usage and what the frames are. So the GPU usage now is 50. And the frames are 130. So that's CPU limited, right? But if I push this up to here, my GPU usage is now 90%, and my frames go down to 100. Using Nvidia apps page called Performance. I can't be bothered, dog. Ah! And then if you push this up even further, then it goes down to 85 or something. Which honestly is still fine for me. Like, I don't really care. Like, playing at 85 FPS, honestly, for me in EFT, that's good enough. I'm not that bothered. Obviously, it does go like down to 60 something if you're in the... But we're playing offline mode here as well. We're not playing online, so the FPS is slightly lower for that reason. I usually keep it somewhere in the middle. So even in offline mode, we're at like... Even in offline mode, we're at 100, and then in this we've got like 80-ish. Yo, what's going on? We were testing some stuff today. Yeah, it's funny. So the DLDSR thing. So where's the pylons? There's pylons over here. This is much more obvious in the highest mode. This isn't. It's not the same. I don't know. I don't really know what the deal is with this. So the pylons look good here, but they don't look very good through a scope. Or maybe it was a custom specific problem. We'll find out. Don't get too far to get blown up. Oh, maybe they are okay now. Oh yeah, there you can sort of see it. So here, there's these pylon cables at the back, which start to just disappear here, but I can see them perfectly fine like this. So I can't see them through the scope, but I can see them here. So it's almost as if like DLDSR, like this is rendering, I don't know. This is rendering at like maybe the DLSS level or something. I'm not really sure. Whereas here it's like, I don't know. But anyway, I can't see these if I zoom out. So you can see as I zoom out, they disappear. And now they're basically gone. But I can see them now. So weird. Have you seen games like Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta and Forever Winter have 8 gig cards like the 2080 Super as a minimum requirement? I mean, to be honest, with textures, the way that textures are going, it's pretty crazy to have something less than 8. I sold both my kidneys for 40.90. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to play around with it a bit more and see what people have managed to do with smooth motion. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I'll have to go through some of the guides and stuff and see if I'm like doing something problematic. Anti-lumen UE5 is great. Well, remember when Great Zone Warfare guys gave low an option to not have lumen in it, and it was like the performance was like skyrocketed on the low settings. But like so many people are using UE5 now. But I mean, the thing is, UE5 I don't think is necessarily a bad engine. There are good games that have come out with like decent optimization on UE5. It all depends on how it's coded, right? Always depends on how it's coded. Right. Well, now, and I think we're kind of done with the testing. It's sort of incoherent and inconsistent, but I don't really know what else to do at this point to make it better. I moved Lumen entirely in Grey Zone with the engine edits just to get it working with the old 3070 Ti, and it was probably much better. Surely. Should we just try and do a setup? Got anything else on customs? Got to get another 3 kills. Not really. We'll just try and kill a player. What's this got? Has this got armor in it? No. That would have been a mistake, wouldn't it? Special play. Thingy that. Right, have I got a backplate for this guy? What's that one? Class 4 random Elafros. We'll just use that. Monster Claw. Epic is trying to force half-baked or just bad tech for devs, though. I don't know enough about it. I have a friend who does some game dev stuff, and they've worked both with Unity and Unreal, and they said like they're both as bad as each other in many ways. Doesn't the MOA thing for shotties only matter if you're firing slugs, though? What does Arc Raiders run on? Because that worked beautifully. See, that's on Unreal 5, apparently. That worked amazingly well. Arc Raiders worked so well that I didn't even turn off the DLSS. I carried on running it like super sampling because it ran so well. It affects buckshot too. I mean, it's minuscule though, no? Surely you don't care about the problem with buckshot. Like 20 MOA with buckshot. That doesn't matter, right? Surely. Are we talking about, does MOA now affect the spread of the buckshot, or does it affect the center of the buckshot? Because it used to just affect the centering. And then obviously it went away for some reason. It affects spread. Are you certain? So if you have like a 10 MOA gun and you test the shot on that, and then a 20 MOA gun, it'll change the spread. Because previously I think it was only barrel length. I mean, it's been like 3 years since I've tested it. One Dura double was nasty for a while. It's worth a test. It's worth testing. Might not make a video about it, but it's worth testing. Barrel length affects MOA, so checks out now. I think it was the case though previously that it does. even when the MOA didn't change very much for certain longer barrels, you still had a spread change purely due to the barrel. And if you change the MOA in another way, like with a compensator or something, then it didn't do anything. It's been years since I've looked at this, in fairness.
Gold, please.
Interesting. Easy. Thank you for the 45. Thank you. J preset is the best in my opinion. I don't know. Yeah, I quite like J. I do quite like J. Should we just try and force a fight? Yo, Maxina, what's going on? Just a scav. Hopefully they get stuck under here. Apparently Nikita's showing off something massive at PAX this weekend. I got no idea. Yeah, MOA changes are usually minimal. Yeah, exactly. They're usually tiny. Ah, there's someone over here. Ow. How's this guy not dead? We did it, guys. After a while. Using smooth motion, I gave it a good go. But I couldn't make it work properly. We set it up. We set up the bomb. It looks like the man's using like a redoute or something horrible. How'd you bring up the healing on your HUD? So you have to have your healing key on release. And then you use the scroll. So you hold the button down, like 5 or whatever it is on release for, and then you use the scroll button. What was wrong with it? Well, I was getting lower base FPS than I was when I wasn't using it. For a start. So that kind of sucked. And then it was really jittery, causing lots of issues, didn't look very nice. We've been through the ringer. I basically spent like 2 hours trying to get it to work. And I could not get it to work in any sensible way. It's because this guy's got a freaking class 5 plate in here. Look, I zeroed that bad boy. I mean, I've also got a class 5 plate, so he's probably cursing me too. Anyway, I don't know if I even want this. It's like 13 kilograms of just like heft. He's also set up. Oh, he's doing like MP18 and stuff as well. He's doing the double. at this. Look at this fancy ass MP18. Who's fighting over there? Oh, and he's using BMGs. Okay. That's way too loud. Take the plates. I'm not sure if I could be bothered. Maybe I'll take the back plate. How the hell is he... How is he still alive? I am using darts. I thought that was our guy for a second, but apparently no. One guy was going that way. They're still over there somewhere. I'm going to see if I can go round and get onto the roof or something. Wait, was there... That's where I wanted to go. Oh, you can't do that with the... It blocked it off with the goddamn thingies. Oh, thanks, Scav. Actually, I can maybe ignore them this way. Let me through. Ignore the Scav, ignore the Scav. The issue with the Scav is I don't want my position to be... given away. They might have moved on, unfortunately. I'll chase them if they have. I don't know who's shooting there. I'm going to see if I can get to one of these rooms, basically. Oh, no, I don't think I've got the key with me. Ah, no, I don't have this key. I can't get that with him. Oh. There's one of them. Yeah! We got him, we got him! Spicy boyos, spicy boyos! Look at that. That was a banger. What a shot, eh? What a shot. Right, where's his mate? And now we lie in wait. Got him with the fancy MP18. I think I only need one. Yeah, need one more. Oh, let's see what happens here. Come on. D's like right there. OG Zoom, my friends. Oh no! How did that miss? We did it! We got him, we got him, we got him! Yeah! Yes! Yes! Setup gaming complete, maybe? Setup gaming complete. What did he take off this dude? He's... Oh, he had a class 5 front. Interesting. Proper ghetto kind of armor. So what's this thing? Sappy level... This is ceramic level 5, so it's kind of crap. Another interesting collection of just like random stuff. I think we should probably junk this. I don't think that's saving us at this point. Okay. Yeah, enhance with the eyes. Enhance with the eyes. So he tried to take whatever this guy had. Where's our scav? They're over there. There's a tripwire by the other guy's body. The boss is near. Really? Oh, you're right, actually. And there. Wait, did he try to hide this guy's... Wait, did they kill Partisan? Oh, they must have killed Party already. I wonder why he threw the gun in there. Interesting. Coroculon. He threw the Coroculon on the floor. Yeah, they killed the boss. I don't understand what these guys were doing. A lot of people doing setup though, eh? them down there. Oh, there he is. They killed the boss, he didn't want you to have it. I see. Man punched his monitor. I get it. Vogtastic. Oh, the flechette though. Get a bit of an upgrade. Okay. Did I bring green flare? I actually do have green flare. There's a lot of blood in this area. Alright. So what's in here then? BP? Pretty good. Should I just use his gun? It's annoying that you can't take the GP25 off, because this thing's really got a... got a lot of ergo problems. A lot of ergo issues, I should say. Bet in the shotgun? Yeah, it's only a couple of rounds. I'm not that fussed. Nvidia smooth motion working? No, I actually have it off at the moment. It doesn't seem to be working very well. Yeah, it's not really working at all, to be honest. It doesn't seem, just gives me more lag than anything else. Like even the bit that it's supposed to be used for doesn't seem to be really working. It's the issue. So I was trying it, and even in offline, it was just like giving me lower frames than I would normally get. I don't really know why. I feel like there's something wrong. So I ended up with like low frames. So it wasn't even giving me like higher FPS. It was giving me low frames anyway. And then it was also obviously giving me like low screen quality. Are you saying it works well in offline mode? Is that offline mode like with no bots? Because when I was trying it with bots, that was also not really working. An org. Do I care about an org? It's an A3. We could take it. Yeah, it's too unstable. I think you're right. Unfortunately, I think you're right. I think I had some... I set something up for unload chamber, but I can't remember what I set it up as. Yeah, it just doesn't really seem to work. Where's the second try? Oh yeah, you're talking about these setup stuff, yeah. Yeah, I can't seem to get the smooth motion to work properly. Right, we just got to get out, because I got to go. So we're going to go to Flare. And hopefully don't get beamed by anybody on the way. Time is it? 20? Yeah. Always good, we have to set it correctly. You cannot use any sort of frame limiter with it. I've heard that you have to set up a frame limiter. Can you use G-Sync? What's Silk Song? We make a guide on Lighthouse routes and spawns to help beginners a lot. Lighthouse is just a horrible map, though, is the issue. Let me just set this up quickly. Hold on. I had this on because it was getting in the way of the stats for looking at smooth motion, but empty chamber key is delete because I hardly ever use it. Oh, that's actually a nice keybind actually. Should think about using that. Yeah, the issue Lighthouse is just a horrible map. So I can see what you're saying. Like, for that reason, it'd be valuable making something for it, right? But I don't even want to. It's just awful. Your friend started out with no idea we get shot always from. Yeah, it sucks. The thing is, I don't even play it enough to feel like I want to make the guide about it. I don't know. It's like a catch-22 sort of problem. I'm like, the map is awful. Right, after this, I'm going to have to jump straight away, my friends. Hopefully that's far enough across. Hopefully we don't die here. You can use G-Sync, but it might get above your monster refresh rate. So that's kind of the issue, isn't it? Right, well, that was a pretty good raid, honestly. That was a pretty good raid. Well, thank you for sitting through the, for the tech chat, which is mostly what we were doing today. We're going to jump over to Very Bad Scav stream because he's a real one. He's pretty good. Like his stuff. He's kind of taken over on the tinfoil hat stuff. So we're going to go over to his channel right now, and I will see you tomorrow for ScavTalk. Otherwise, oh, it does not allow. He's not allowing a raid. He's not allowing a raid. Okay. Well, go over to his channel then. I will see you soon. Catch you next time, and maybe I'll figure out smooth frames in the background. Otherwise, right. See you guys. Catch you later.